They're the hottest team in USL Championship. Tonight, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, coming off a runaway win at Pittsburgh, set their sights on Eastern Conference leading Memphis. It's Tampa Bay and Memphis, and plenty of 4th of July fun coming up next. Happy 4th of July weekend from downtown St. Pete, where all eyes of USL Championship are on this matchup tonight. The Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Memphis 901 FC in a Saturday night showdown. And we welcome you inside the booth, everybody. Thrilled you're here. Drew Felios, and excited to be alongside Casey White, the former United States women's national teamer, who is in for Ryan Davis tonight. All right, Casey, you've had a chance to watch these Rowdies all week long. 7 games without a defeat. What's the secret behind their success?
It's a great run right now. Leo Fernandez has been red hot in front of goal. That's obviously a huge piece to what they do. But Jan Ekra in midfield with his simplicity helps in possession. And then you've got Lawrence White, who just goes up and down that wing space. That's so important for the Rowdies. Yeah, they're doing it all right now. But tonight they welcome a Memphis team that is coming off 2 straight victories and 2 tough victories. Philip Goodrum, the forward, is playing amongst the best amongst all goal scorers in USL Championship. He's so important to Memphis, just a player that can just be very opportunistic in front of goal, and usually how he goes is how Memphis goes, so going to be important to keep an eye on him. And for Tampa Bay, Lewis Hilton just having another tremendous season. He is the man in the middle for the green and gold. He's so industrious, very simple on the ball, but does so much work off of it as well, and just really links the lines, the back line to the forwards so well. Should be a fun night here at Antley Stadium on the 4th of July weekend, one of the great traditions in Tampa Bay sports. It's Tampa Bay and Memphis coming up next on ESPN+.
Amortized 5-year debt schedule requisition.
Come a little closer, mon petit chou. Feel that fascination if you're there. I think that I like you. I think that I like you. I think that I like you.
I've been working for Baycare for 13 years.
Going on 20 years?
12 years. 15 years.
20 years.
5 years. 6 years.
15 years. 28 years.
It's not just an ID badge, it's a badge of honor. Do you have what it takes to wear it? Find out at baycarecareers.org and see why Baycare is the only top-performing large health system in America that's also a best place to work.
I've been in Baycare for 5 years and my experience is great. I love it.
Baycare, humanity at work.
¿Puede un seguro médico ayudar a curar la soledad? ¿Puede cuidar a tu mejor amigo también? ¿O tomarte de la mano por 9 meses? ¿Puede estar disponible para ti a las 3 a.m.? ¿Puede estar contigo en cada paso? Nosotros sí lo creemos. ¿Qué más puede hacer un seguro médico para ti? Averígualo.
50 years of automotive excellence doesn't just happen. It's built on a commitment to that excellence, and we wouldn't change a thing. I'm excited to announce Reeves Import Motor Cars is now part of the Morgan Auto Group family, giving you an unparalleled buying and service experience that's uniquely Morgan, like the Experience More Guarantee at no additional cost. But it's more than selling you a vehicle. It's the experience, the lifestyle. Introducing the all-new Morgan Import Motor Cars. Experience the lifestyle today. When you make it Morgan, we make it happen.
What a scene we have tonight at Antley Stadium. The Rowdies and Memphis 901 FC. Moments away from kickoff. Looks like a gorgeous night here at the moment. Let's get it going. Starting lineups presented by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa. For Memphis, Trey Muse in goal, stacking clean sheets. He's got 4 of them. 29 saves to go with it. Several outstanding players in this lineup. Graham Smith, part of the USL Team of the Week.
And he's in great form right now, helping along that back line as a center back, not only doing the defensive work, but also a goal in each of the last 2 games. So definitely someone that they look forward to go forward on set pieces that the Rowdies have to be aware of.
Meanwhile, for the Rowdies, look at that back line. Aaron Guillen, Connor Antley, Jordan Scarlett, and you've got Lawrence White as well. Lewis Hilton, we talked about in the open. Jan Ekra, number 7, not too shabby either.
He's such a great compliment to Hilton. Both of them in that holding role. Jan Ekra, very simplistic in the way he plays, wins a lot of tackles, and always looking to play forward and create something in the attack.
Leo Fernandez having the season of dreams thus far. Jake LaCava, what a combo that has been. Kyle Gregg also in the 11 here tonight. 82 degrees. So not as hot as we anticipated. Feels a little bit warmer though down on the field, as Memphis will wear the all-white kits. The Rowdies in the familiar green and gold. Memphis comes in 11 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. The Rowdies 8 wins, 3 losses, and 6 draws. Tampa Bay sitting now in 3rd place in the East. Memphis is at the top. But this is going to be a showdown, and I think we're going to really find out what Memphis is made of here tonight. Set to kick it off. Sit back, enjoy, as Lucas Tercy is on top of it for Memphis. And we are underway from Al Lang Stadium, Tampa Bay and Memphis. These two teams identical when it comes to goals scored. Both come into tonight with 32 on each side. Memphis was able to get on the board against the Rowdies in the first minute the last time these teams faced off in April. The Rowdies definitely going to know where Philip Goodrum is tonight. He was the guy who scored quick. Sebastian Dahlgaard along the far side, and now Tampa Bay attacks for the first time. Get it in front. Try and set the table for LaCava, who was running free, and Trey Muse touches it for the first time.
It was a great little pace ball. A little bit too much on that from Leo Fernando, but doing really well to end the counterattack to try to go forward there quickly.
Injury report brought to you by St. Anthony's Hospital. Castellanos and Armin on the shelf for the Rowdies. And Memphis a little bit dinged up. It's mid-season, and you know, Casey, this is when some of those injuries start to creep in.
It is, and Kisiedu is a big one that they're missing that's contributed on the score line for them. But you get to see kind of in this part of the season who can step up and what teams can manage some of those bumps and bruises along the way.
Connor Antley, stellar for the Rowdies this year, as Tampa Bay scrambled to find a replacement for Forrest Lasso. Antley has done well in rebuilding that back line. And now here is Cochran. 19 saves coming in. Goalie for the Rowdies has really impressed. Near giveaway there. Antley trying to clear. Tough doing though, as Cochran able to glove it.
And it shows the confidence that they have in Cochran to be able to play out of the back there. And you mentioned Antley, who's done so well sliding into that center back role, just looking to build out in those moments.
Tampa Bay now attacking once more. Rowdies get it inside the 18, trying to shake free for a shot. The rebound's out and buried. Jake LaCava gets Tampa Bay on the board here in the 3rd minute.
And just against the run of play there, just a great run forward, and LaCava being so opportunistic right inside the penalty area to finish that one off. He's just in a great position for that goal.
Early fireworks here on 4th of July weekend. A replay look on our Bayfront Health.
It's a great run, drawing 2 defenders, and it was well defended there, and a good bounce for the Rowdies coming across, but still so many defenders coming across, and LaCava just showing a lot of composure for that finish, and it's the Rowdies that start quick in this one.
8th goal on the season for Jake LaCava, and the Rowdies fans on their feet. So with that goal, the Rowdies have donated another $250 to the Bayfront Health St. Pete Foundation. And Casey, we're already on the scoreboard. That takes us to our keys to the match. We'll take one more look at the goal from our goal cam.
And I love that view right there just from the goal. And Kyle Gregg came across in that and was really good. And for the Rowdies, clinical in front of goal, and they've shown that so far. It's going to be important. They create a lot of opportunities, but taking advantage of them is going to be important for a win in this one. And then that midfield matchup for Memphis. It's a tough midfield that the Rowdies have with Ekra, Fernandez, and Hilton. So how they match up, how they defend, especially in transition, is something that Memphis has to focus on.
Goal number 33 on the year for the Rowdies, Jordan Scarlett. Ball will get touched out of bounds. Rowdies will throw it in on the far side. Now Jake LaCava continuing to just blister the opposition. What a find he has been for the Rowdies this year.
And goal scorers just figure it out. They put themselves in the right spots. And Kyle Gregg made a great run on that. And he may not get credited with an assist because it was a block off his opportunity. But LaCava putting himself in a great spot to be able to give him a chance to score. And that's what they figure out how to do, those players that can score goals and buckets.
Tapped away. Rowdies continuing to be active on the Memphis side. And we'll have a foul called there. Scarlett, Tampa Bay will get back defensively. Head referee tonight is Kevin Broadley. He's assisted by Jeremy Smith and Diego Lucio, with Daniel Gutierrez, our fourth official. So Memphis comes in here off 2 straight victories, 2 really good teams as well, FC Tulsa and Detroit City. Those games within 4 days of each other. Kind of look at this one though, having to travel to the Rowdies' backyard whenever you put it on them in April, and that's why I said we're really going to find out, Casey, what they are made of tonight. Some USL Championship fans think that Memphis up the top of the table. They're not going to stay there. It's just mid-season. What do you think?
Well, it definitely isn't an indication of where they may be a little bit down the line, but they have earned every bit of that piece. And the matchup last time, you know, with Goodrum getting on the board early for Memphis, really put the Rowdies against it. So much better start here this evening for the Rowdies, not only not giving up a goal, but taking the lead.
Graham Smith sends it back. He's got 2 goals on the year. Trey Muse touches. Memphis trying to build from the back. Rowdies so active. A little bit of pressure, mixing it up right now. And it looks like the visiting side a little bit just off their kilt.
Well, with getting that early goal, I liked how just moments ago, even the Rowdies were pressing high on the left side. Now they've done it on the right side. Ekra had a bit of a mistouch in intercepting that ball, but there's moments where there could be some opportunities in counter-attacking transition for the Rowdies.
Lawrence White to throw it in. Just a goal and an assist this year, but it just feels like he has had so much more apart. Does so many things that don't show up on the stat sheet.
Well, coming out of that outside back role, his ability to go forward is just so influential.
Well, a player down for the Rowdies, and that is Hilton, who is really shaken up. Yellow card was dealt as well. They'll wave the training staff on, and this is not a good sight for Tampa Bay. Hilton went down hard, and he was holding his ankle. Lewis Hilton, the young Harris College product, came out of the Division II ranks. You can just see the respect that he gets around the league, having another brilliant season here in this stadium.
Yeah, he does so much work, and here coming towards the ball, getting that first touch, and just stepping on the back of his foot was Turchi there, and looked a bit inadvertent, but a yellow card nonetheless. And you can see, just like you said, the respect that they have for Hilton, just someone always on him to make sure he can't settle in possession.
So Turchi dealt the yellow here in the 8th minute. Tampa Bay on the attack again. Leo Fernandez sends it to the left side, and it's LaCava now 1v1. LaCava with Buckmaster trying to stay with him, and Muse barely able to get his hands up.
It was a clever little attempt there from LaCava, just getting to the left foot, but he was trying to get that flick over, but Muse deals with it well.
What are you most looking forward to seeing tonight, Casey? As far as the Tampa Bay Rowdies player, you've heard a lot about this team this year. Haven't had a chance to watch them live yet.
Well, I think the pairing of the center backs is something that's really interesting as this ball gets played over the top. Jordan Scarlett dealing well with it and coming out with Cochran. But that partnership between the two of them, especially with the move from Antley to the back, is very interesting for me to take a look at. And he's done so well so far. But against a two-front, it can be really difficult that Memphis brings with Turchi and Goodrum up top.
Connor Antley sending it forward. A little bit too far for LaCava. And Memphis will have a goal kick here coming up. Just underway. Rowdies, an early goal in the 3rd minute. Jake LaCava, the guy right there, scoring his 8th of the season. He's got 2 assists as well. And that lethal combination, LaCava and Fernandez, continues. That's something that I know you've made note of. Fernandez and just his new life that he has found this season in this league.
And he's in such great form right now, and I love seeing him in that center midfield role, playing a lot on the wing last year. But he's a player that the more he's around the ball, he not only gets better because of his sophistication and technique, but the team gets better. So playing out of that central space, you can really see his distribution in the attack.
Jan Ekra now. Ekra sends it a little bit too far as well. Memphis now to throw it in. Tampa Bay out of the center circle with Ekra. And it's Kyle Craig. Ball won by Fernandez. And now Lewis Hilton. Hilton looks to be okay. He went down just moments ago on the ankle. And now Fernandez can do his work. Leo Fernandez. Aaron Guillen. Connor Antley weaving his way through traffic. And this is vintage Tampa Bay Rowdy soccer here.
Yeah, they're settling really well into possession, just making their way into the attacking half. A lot of it's been done either off the counterattack or even in their defensive half. So much better here as they're able to progress a little bit more forward.
Antley sending it a little bit too far. He's been a little heavy-footed here in the first 12 minutes. Cut off by Fernandez. Leo Fernandez finds Lewis Hilton. Hilton switches the point of attack. Rowdies now send it back. Another shot coming. That was one from way far out from Wyke. Looked more like a cross than a shot. The Rowdies will keep possession.
I think at that point you're just trying to get some pace on the ball, just getting it across frame. You never know where something's going to bounce. Case in point, the first goal, a deflected shot, bounces to LaCava, he puts it away. So I like seeing Wyke higher up the field. He does that so well and so often that really kind of pins Memphis into their end. Even if he does lose possession or is not able to get the cross, the Rowdies are higher up the field to win it back.
Well, collision there. And this was Greg. We'll get up a little bit slowly. No cards dealt here. We'll play on. Another look.
Just a mistimed tackle there from Greg coming back from his center forward position, and Paul able to draw that one for Memphis.
Rowdies right now 3rd place in the East. Memphis, of course, at the top. Rowdies can get a victory tonight, give them 33 points. So they are right on Memphis's back. Adds to the importance of tonight's contest.
And just closing that gap at this time of the season can be really important just from a momentum perspective. Already doing so well in the last 7 games as the Rowdies, but just continuing to close the gap in the standings just kind of injects some more motivation into the players.
I mean, Memphis right now 35 points. Rowdies with 33. They get a victory. Rowdies jump into that lead, but keep in mind they're also tied with Louisville as well. The Rowdies do have the win over Lou City this year.
Still a lot of time to go, so there's a lot that can happen definitely in the standings, but just keeping pace with the 1st place and 2nd place teams critically important throughout the season.
Ball tapped out, and we'll have the 1st quarter kick of the night for Memphis. Memphis outshot Detroit City in that game on June 25th. Just last week, 20-7. This team is all about opportunity. Aaron Malloy now 4 goals and 4 assists here to do the honors. Low line drive, immediately set out by the Rowdies, and the crowd appreciates the effort.
That's exactly what your near post person has to do. They have to be willing to be brave, to cut out anything that's low and hard across that central area, and Hilton is the right person for the job.
Tampa Bay has Florida's most ways to play. Claim your next adventure at visitTampaBay.com. That's visitTampaBay.com. Ball will belong to the Rowdies. C.J. Cochran. And take a look at Jake LaCava. Just getting better and better as the season goes along. He has been so good. Tampa Bay getting that extra dose of goal scoring, and this has been interesting that LaCava's goals are up. Guenzati, who was on fire last year, Casey, nowhere near the same numbers as in 2021. So LaCava has kind of made up for that.
And that's sometimes how it works. It can be very difficult to replicate certain numbers year after year. And so when you have another player come into a team that can alleviate that pressure a little bit, sometimes that's just how it goes. And having production from multiple places bodes well for the attack of the Rowdies.
Ball headed back, and now Memphis will throw it in. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Al Lang. Great soccer, and then fireworks immediately following. Ralph's Mob, Skyway Casuals, they have come to do their thing. Saw Rowdies fans in the parking lot as early as 3 o'clock. Cochran has really been a stabilizing force in goal for the Rowdies, hasn't he?
He has, and coming into that role, it just gives the back line such confidence when they have a goalkeeper behind them. Not only that's good at shot stopping, but can use their feet and really enables them to play out of the back, which is something that is just the Rowdies are known for and is a staple of how they play.
19 saves this year for Cochran. Ball taken away, and Cochran will get it right back quickly. He'll try and clear. Dangerous play there. Lewis Hilton takes it from there, and as soon as Hilton gets it at his feet, everybody just breathes a sigh of relief.
You literally just took the words out of my mouth. Everyone just goes right when he gets it, because it just takes the air out of it. It calms everyone down, a little bit of composure.
Ball is in no better place than at Hilton's feet. Here comes Tampa Bay again. Staying off that end line. Rowdies attacking. LaCava in front. LaCava scores. 2 in a row for Jake.
And again, just in the right spot at the right time, but that's not by accident. A good goal scorer understands where to put himself in order to have an opportunity just in case it may come. That one, a little bit harder to come by, rattling around in front, but he figures out how to double the lead for the Rowdies. This is a great run on the inline by Fernandez, getting across. A bit of a missed touch on the first touch across. Initial save by Muse, and off the defender it goes across. But that run from Fernandez, so important, getting the assist, playing it across to LaCava's feet, and just a great goal for the second one of the game.
What a start for number 19, Jake LaCava. His 8th and 9th goals of the season here in the first 20 minutes. Trey Muse, meanwhile, cannot believe it. Rowdies with a 2-goal lead here on 4th of July weekend.
Well, the player marking in the box is something that Memphis is not going to be happy with. LaCava really was the only player that was really wide open in that area that Fernandez could find, and the player marking just really let Memphis down in that moment.
And with that goal, the Rowdies donate another $250 to the Bayfront Health St. Pete Foundation. 20th minute. Great to have you with us tonight, Drew Felios, Casey White, the former United States women's national teamer. What a start for the Rowdies. They have come out firing behind Jake LaCava. And Leo Fernandez, as you said, Casey, so instrumental creating that last goal.
The more he's around the ball, the better for the Rowdies. He's just so comfortable in dictating play, and he found himself more on that wing space in that side, just with the rotation they had through midfield, but he definitely knows how to make things happen.
Buckmaster now trying to answer. Memphis could use just a few good possessions. They haven't really been able to build much yet in this contest. Anything they can do here, Casey, to sort of put the Rowdies on their heels for the first time?
Really, the only opportunities they have been pressing in the back line, which I think they can do more of. But Malloy getting the ball at his feet is always when Memphis looks much better in possession. The Rowdies have done really well to stay tight to him as they try to get him on the ball right now. But he's someone that the Rowdies want to make sure they understand where he is at all times.
Ball rolls to Cochran once more. Rowdies defense right now able to douse any sort of danger by the visitors. Connor Antley sends it back. The Rowdies look so comfortable right now. They look patient, and that's something Coach Collins said on the call to us earlier this week. As that ball given away before I speak too soon, he said, we are at home. When we are at home and we are playing our game, we know that there is no team that can beat us.
Well, that's a great feeling to have, and they are able to play out of the back, and against a two-front is really a huge challenge because they match up against the center backs. But when you have Hilton coming into that 6 role to get the ball and the 2 outside backs who are also comfortable on the ball, it really allows them to be able to be patient in their possession.
Light press here by the Rowdies. There's Fernandez once again lurking. Aaron Malloy, another good touch from Memphis. Player goes down, and eventually a whistle, a little bit late that time. But our head official, Kevin Broadley, able to make the call. Well, celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select, proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select League's choice, player's choice. Connor Antley takes a deep breath. Last year you had the big guy in the middle, Forrest Lasho. You get a look there at Ben Pearman, the head coach of Memphis, was the interim head coach a year ago, now wearing the head coach label. But talk about the Rowdies defense last year, big guy in the middle, and then you also had Scarlett and Guillen. This year it's tweaked just a little bit, White pitching in. You've also got Connor Antley carrying so much on his plate, Casey. It's worked out.
And it's hard to replace someone like Forrest Lasso, just such a good player, so steady in the center back position. But it may give a different look, having Antley in the back and White in the back, but it's just different. And I think they've done so well to be able to play out and show their ability on the ball. And today, they've done well to be able to make sure that there hasn't really been an attack generated by Memphis so far in this half.
Memphis unable to control it again. Off the feet of Lucas Turchi. And the Rowdies have possession once more. Just about one half through the season. Season kind of at its halfway point. And this is that point, KC, where you see Coach Collins talking to the official about something there. I think asking for a foul there, but there's a certain point in the season where you kind of are what you are, right? You're done kind of looking for those answers or a turning point. If it hasn't happened now, it's probably not going to happen.
You're right, and you deal with the beginning of the season going through principles of play. How do you want to play? What does your personnel look like? And really trying to figure out who's going to step up. This part of the season, it's about solidifying the mental side of the game too, getting confidence, staying motivated, and just really solidifying your principles. And can you make them happen every game to get wins?
Jake LaCava now working, sending it back. Aaron Guillen. Jan Ekra. Rowdies will keep possession here with Antley and Jordan Scarlett. Fresh off that Jamaican national team call-up, you know that's got to do so much for a young player's confidence and just his wherewithal, his purpose, knowing he gets a chance to represent his country finally. This is Sebastian Dahlgaard. Dahlgaard working his way inside the 18. Had a good move there, but was cut off at the last moment just before he got to the 6.
That was a great run by Dahlgaard there. And you talk about Jordan Scarlett, just what an injection of confidence into his game. Coach Neil Collins talks about it being such a huge goal of his to get that first call-up, just to get that piece done and be able to get the experience of playing at the international level. That only is going to serve well for Tampa Bay as he comes back into this environment with his club.
Lawrence White. Ball was tipped at the last moment there. Patrick Segrist was over there. And again, Coach Collins giving our head official tonight an earful. This is Guillen. Well defended this time by Memphis. Lesson Paul, 3 assists on the year. Midfielder, really good pace for 901. Well, this could be a yellow. And Jordan Scarlett has got 6 yellows this year. That could be number 7. Looks like he's going to get out of this one. Saw Philip Goodrum there. Just look at some of the players right now for Memphis, and sometimes you step on this field in July and the humidity kind of hits you right in the face. It kind of feels like that right now when you just look at the body language of some of these Memphis players.
It really does. It's not an easy environment to play in.
Aaron Malloy here on the free kick. Cochran on guard for Tampa Bay. Ball's got pretty nice curl to it, and it is sent out. That is well played by Kyle Gregg.
And the Rowdies stepped their line so quickly. There was going to be a reservice, but the player was offside, and they decided to recycle it. And that's all because the Rowdies line had really good focus in stepping quickly after the clearance. But those set-piece moments, really important when you have a 2-0 lead like this. Really, Memphis, besides pressing the back line a little bit and a few mishaps by the back line of the Rowdies and set pieces, hasn't really generated a lot of opportunities. So you don't want to give anything away in those moments around goal.
Keep in mind the Rowdies lost to Memphis 3-1 on April 27th. Mentioned that early goal by Goodrum on that day. It's been a completely different story here thus far. 2 Jake LaCava goals, and the Rowdies with a 2-0 lead. Malloy again, surrounded by green and gold. Rowdies playing it once more. Lewis Hilton. Oh, that's a handball. The Rowdies will have a PK. It went off the hands of Logue for sure, and the Rowdies will have a chance to extend to 3-0.
And there was immediate reaction from every Rowdies player that was around, and this bouncing ball dealt with very well by Greg there, and Hilton helps it on. You can just see the ball change direction, his arm in an unnatural position there for the penalty kick call.
Leo Fernandez will answer the call. It's Fernandez against Muse. 29 saves for Trey Muse. He's had a rough going, conceding twice so far in this game. Leo cannot put it in. Just off. It hit the post, and the Rowdies will have to wait for that 3rd goal.
And I feel for Fernandez on that because it was a well-hit ball. Muse went the completely opposite direction. It wasn't like he mishit that, but that's sometimes how it goes, just banging off the post.
Guillen and Ekra have a play like that. Oh, well played by LaCava. Get a break like that if you're Memphis, though, and Casey, it can kind of give you a bit of new life. Here's one more look, and there it is, just off that post.
Just opening up a little bit too much on that, and honestly, just unlucky. He hit it with a lot of confidence and just hitting off that post. But you're right, the next few minutes, really important. There's a little bit of life injected back into Memphis when that happens. So it's really important to stay very, very connected between the lines just for the next few minutes till things settle in again.
This is Wyke in the midfield with Lewis Hilton. Fernandez. Leo Fernandez wants to make up for that missed PK. And now Wyke. Antley with Guillen.
This is good by the Rowdies, getting more sustained possession. We talked about kind of making sure these next few minutes Memphis doesn't get anything, and that appeared to be a foul, and it was called, but a little bit of a dangerous moment there in possession.
Yeah, it was Goodrum right there on Hilton. At Boat, we make the best gear for you to enjoy life on the water, from paddle boards to floating docks. Committed to pushing the boundaries of innovation, style, and design to help you stand apart. Stop by our St. Pete store to get the Boat experience. 32 minutes in. Rowdies could easily be on top here. 3-0. It's been that type of half for Tampa Bay and Memphis. Casey, you've probably taken a few of those PKs before. You've made some. Have you missed any? Kind of tell us your experience there.
I did.
In your glory days.
I was a penalty kick taker. I took a lot of them for my collegiate teams and for the national team at times. And I have missed one. It's etched in my memory, so thank you for that, bringing it back up. But
what does that feel like? Because you almost feel like you let the team down, right?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But I think for players that are really consistently comfortable with taking penalties, it's a job you got to do. You didn't do it, you move on. And I think you have to, if you're good at penalty kicks, is to let that go and get ready for the next play. And I think we'll see that with Fernandez continuing to push forward. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in a position to take those in the first place. You couldn't handle that pressure.
Yeah, Leo is a pro's pro for sure. Turchi leading the charge here from Memphis. Goodrum had his pocket picked by Lawrence White. Crowd on that far side loving it. The Rowdies just winning these 50-50 battles, although taken away. Malloy able to get one back there from Doghart. That's kind of how you you turn the tide of this game. You start winning those individual battles.
Yes, there's going to be that piece in that midfield matchup that's going to be really important. And so far, the Rowdies have been in a really good shape and, you know, have had most of the possession. So they haven't had to show as much on the defensive side of the ball in midfield, but it's going to be important as the half goes on.
Push from behind by Lacaba. Saw Derek Dotson go down. Rowdies still yet to draw a yellow. Turchi has one for the visitors. So Rowdies getting a little bit of leeway by the officiating crew thus far, but don't expect that to last. Here comes Memphis. It's knocked away by Ekra. This is Malloy. Memphis looking a little bit better here. Coming along, right side. Service looked like it was about to come. Sent back to Kelly. Muscling for position. Cochran watches it go over the net. You saw Goodrum there trying to fight for position.
There's a little bit more possession in the final third from Memphis there, and just having to be careful as they recycle play. The Rowdies needing to step a little bit higher just to make sure there's a little bit more pressure on the ball. That last opportunity from Kelly, a bit of a strange deflection there. Cochran having it covered before taking the goal kick.
Rowdies being very patient here. Tampa Bay with their biggest wins in 2022. I think you talk about 3 wins that really stand out. The one over Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh, that they just posted last week, 5-2. Huge result there. Took care of Phoenix also, 5-1. And then Lou City here at home. Rowdies once again threatening, knocking on the door. And Tampa Bay will have a corner kick.
That whole sequence was interesting because Memphis has usually pressed high up the field. They kind of settled into a medium block there because the Rowdies have proven they can counterattack a little bit, and they've gotten 2 goals off of quick counters. But even so there, the Rowdies have done well in possession to still generate an opportunity on the opposite side.
Crowd comes alive for Leo Fernandez, the in-swinger on this corner. Sent up. Muse lost it, headed in. Oh, saved right before going over the line. What a sequence this was. And Memphis dodges another huge bullet.
And that was a great second chance opportunity from Ekra. Just good organization in the box, a heads up play to continue to keep this one alive. It's a great service, just not enough pace on it, but Muse not able to handle it. And this one cleared off the line. That's what you're supposed to do. When your goalkeeper comes for that, as a defender, you are supposed to be covering him behind, and he does his job there to make sure it's not 3-0.
Well, that was Graham Smith who was able to clear it for Memphis. Heads up play. Smith has had a key role this year. And this is Malloy now. Another good ball. Memphis threatening. Rowdies able to knock it away. White trying to chase it down. Will be, looks like a throw in there on the far side. So big defensive play by Memphis. Talk about the PK and then the last play. Memphis very lucky, I think, that this is not a 3 or 4-0 game.
And the Rowdies have done so well to come out and play their style against Memphis in this home environment. Memphis just hasn't really been able to get on the ball until these last few minutes, but you're right. I think Memphis is very, very lucky it's not a worse score right now.
Graham Smith, a guy that we studied coming in too. KC, part of the USL Team of the Week. Huge in those big wins over FC Tulsa and Detroit City. Guy that he's a leader on the field, comes up with big plays like the one we just saw.
Yes, he's so good in the back. We see what he can do defensively and just his laser focus to be able to do his job, but also has really been able to contribute on the offensive side for Memphis as well, being rewarded with that Team of the Week. He's definitely a big-time player for Memphis, and if more set pieces do come against the Rowdies, they're going to have to be aware of him as he likes to go forward and can be clinical in front of goal.
Cochran now places it down for Tampa Bay. A 2-0 lead for the Rowdies. Looking for their 9th win here tonight. Fernandez heads it back, and now Leo will attack. This one taken away. Fernandez gets right back up though. And a scramble on that far side. Memphis able to win possession. Memphis starting to settle in a little bit. Starting to get more quality opportunities as Antley watches it go over the top. Touched at the last moment by Cochran and finally stopped.
And Memphis having to go with that more direct service because Hilton and Ekra and Fernandez doing so well in that 3v2 matchup with Malloy and Paul. Malloy and Paul just not able to get on the ball, just not a lot of space there in build-up for Memphis.
Now this is Wyke. Dahlgaard. Sebastian Dahlgaard, those long strides. And now it's Wyke. Wyke once more skates it through. Another dangerous chance for Tampa Bay and nearly another goal.
And you can see just the industriousness of Wyke. He gets up and down the field so much. I mean, just minutes ago, he was down in the corner defending a throw-in and just having the engine to get forward and the technical ability to weave around defenders. It's a very good opportunity from the outside back.
Two of the highest scoring teams in USL Championship square off when Colorado Springs welcomes San Diego Loyal for 4th of July fireworks. Don't miss the action Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN 2. That's San Diego side. Remember, San Diego came here to downtown St. Pete not long ago, and that's one game that kind of the Rowdies maybe thought they should have had, gave it away late. That's part of the season though in USL Championship. You got to just move on.
You do. There's so many games. It's a long season, and so just trying to bounce back from those moments is really imperative. The resilient teams that can continue to go and move forward when those moments do occur.
LaCava coming up once more for the Rowdies, puts a little pressure, and there's the result. Tampa Bay with possession again. Hilton and Ekra. Jan Ekra going down. Official right there. And the whistle blown. You don't get a chance, many chances, Casey, to watch the Rowdies play, but today when you showed up, you looked at the lineup, you're like, where's Jan Ekra playing? He's a guy that always seems to be in the middle of it.
Yes, I think sometimes when you play in that 6th role in the holding mid, you can be overlooked because there's a lot of ball winning, but there's a lot of simplicity in the attack. And really, the way he plays allows others to be their best versions of themselves. And I like that about his game, and I've always enjoyed watching him play that role.
LaCava trying to get it back from Ekra. Lots coming up for you at halftime. Special piece will take you back a couple weeks ago. Last home game here at Al Lang Stadium. Rowdies taking on Charleston on that night. Big Pride month of June celebrated. Kind of relive the sights and sounds of that. We'll also have news and notes from around the league, and Casey will get us ready for the second half. It's all coming up at halftime on the Visit Tampa Bay Halftime Show. It's great to have you here this week, Casey. This is lots of fun.
Thank you. I love being here.
We miss Ryan Davis. Not too much, but we definitely miss him. Hit us up on Twitter throughout the night as well. Derek Dotson now maneuvering for Memphis. Aaron Guillen there to knock it out.
These are some critical moments now, just getting to the end of the first half, especially having missed the penalty kick in the last opportunity, not wanting to give anything away in these final moments when they've worked so hard to go up by 2 goals.
It's been pretty fluid here throughout the first half. Don't think we're going to have that much extra time coming up. Graham Smith now sends it back. Memphis trying to get an opportunity here to take to halftime. Jake LaCava has been the difference. 2 goals for the New York Red Bulls product, the loanee here to the Rowdies. He is a goal away from being in double figures in goals this year. So a matter of time before he gets there.
You can see with this sustained possession, 6 across the back line for the Rowdies. They just need to make sure that nothing gets through, just keeping the spaces really tight as Guillen tries to play out. And they do well where Memphis eventually becomes impatient in the way they try to go forward.
Guillen trying to get it out of there. Rowdies eventually do. Memphis will throw it in. And looks like we're going to have about a minute of stoppage time here. Minute coming up before halftime. Set in motion here, Guillen. Buckmaster to Malloy. Graham Smith. Turn it around. Lewis Hilton giving chase. This is Paul. Right in front of us, Buckmaster. Likely the final opportunity here before halftime for Memphis. Ball will get away. LaCava, Ekra, and the Rowdies clear it. Can they counter? No, it's taken away. And Rowdies have to make one more stop. Send it Cochran's way, and he is right there to put his hands on it.
It looked like LaCava was going to be able to start the counterattack the opposite direction, but that last-ditch tackle by Smith definitely stopped it for them.
And Jake LaCava is a little shaken up. He is wincing right now for the Rowdies as he was involved in that last exchange. Bittersweet way to end the half for Jake because he has got the 2 Rowdies goals. It's been all Tampa Bay. 2-0 the score. Hopefully LaCava is okay. We will check on that with our Visit Tampa Bay halftime show coming up.
50 years of automotive excellence doesn't just happen. It's built on a commitment to that excellence, and we wouldn't change a thing. I'm excited to announce Reeves Import Motorcars is now part of the Morgan Auto Group family, giving you an unparalleled buying and service experience that's uniquely Morgan, like the Experience More guarantee at no additional cost. But it's more than selling you a vehicle. It's the experience, the lifestyle. Introducing the all-new Morgan Import Motorcars. Experience the lifestyle today. When you make it Morgan, we make it happen.
New Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda.
Loud flavor.
The mayor must see this.
Hey, wait!
Flavor.
Mayor.
We bring flavor.
Whoa.
Citizens, I declare Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda the loudest flavors ever.
I help
help weight loss patients make lifestyle changes.
I give patients the tools they need to overcome obesity.
I help patients live longer.
I educate patients on the entire weight loss process.
I promote healthy habits with a healthy dose of compassion.
It's not just an ID badge, it's a badge of honor. Every day, our bariatric teams achieve the results to wear it. Take the first steps toward permanent weight loss at baycarebariatrics.org.
I get up every morning with an opportunity to change someone's life. How cool is that?
Baycare, humanity at work.
Welcome to our Visit Tampa Bay halftime show. Tampa Bay has Florida's most ways to play. Claim your next adventure at visitTampaBay.com. That's visitTampaBay.com. Well, this is just moments ago. Jake LaCava helped off the field, walking a little gingerly. Looks like he took some spikes to the ankle, and hopefully Jake LaCava is going to be okay for the second half. Great to have you with us, everybody. I'm Drew Felios. Tampa Bay leads 2-0 over Memphis 901 FC. Okay, before we look forward to the second half, let's flash back a couple of weeks ago. Tampa Bay hosting Charleston. It was Pride Night here at Antley Stadium, and certainly a night to remember for everybody involved. Happy Pride Night. There is no better place to be in downtown St. Pete than Antley Stadium as the Tampa Bay Rowdies get ready to take center stage against the Charleston Battery. So the Rowdies get 1 point on that night. Keep in mind, 7 games without a defeat, trying to make it 8, and a good start to that. 2-0 over Memphis, 2 goals by Jake LaCava. More from the Visit Tampa Bay halftime show after this.
Those topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're gonna go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What? This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Toros are in front. Cross swatted away by Miller.
Volley from Aquay. Wow.
What a wonderful team move for Las Vegas. And a goal from Trejo. Spectacular build-up. Alvaro Quezada, good feet. He's found the upper corner.
Week 16 USL Team of the Week. 2 players on the Team of the Week playing in this game here tonight. Smith for Memphis, and then Leo Fernandez just having a magnificent season for the Rowdies. He's got the big assist on that second goal by Jake LaCava. Storylines around USL Championship. Sacramento taking down LA Galaxy 2-1 last week. They will host Sporting KC in the US Open Cup semis, so congratulations to Sacramento, the first USL Championship side to reach the semifinals since FC Cincinnati. That was 5 years ago. Top 5 power rankings. The Rowdies right now in second place. Don't see Memphis on that list. Sacramento first, San Antonio third, Birmingham and Louisville also in the top 5. USL Championship standings, Rowdies not too far behind. Right now, third place, Lou City, Memphis above them. Pittsburgh also in that top 4 with Detroit City, Birmingham, and Indy 11 vying. If the season were to end today, Miami would also have a postseason spot. Out-of-town scores tonight we are following. Atlanta United 2. That game is in a rain delay with El Paso Locomotive. Indy 11 and Miami at the half. That one scoreless. Lou City, Birmingham still waiting for that first goal. Action around the league. We are continuing to follow it here from beautiful downtown St. Pete. No better place to be in USL Championship. Gorgeous night for soccer here on 4th of July weekend. We've got more of the Visit Tampa Bay halftime show after this.
Can health insurance help cure loneliness? Can it take care of your best friend too? Or hold your hand for 9 months? Can it be there for you at 3 a.m.? Or inspire you to go the extra mile? We think so, which is why every day we ask ourselves, what else can health insurance do? Come find out.
New Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda.
Loud flavor.
The mayor must see this.
Hey, wait!
Flavor, 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 flavor.
Mayor.
We bring flavor.
Flavor.
Whoa. Citizens, I declare Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda the loudest flavors ever.
What is fetchable storage? It's the best parts of today's moving and storage options combined. It's your storage unit on a truck that you drive. You save time by only loading it once. You save money, and it's easy and safe. Just fetch your storage container, fill it up, and bring it back. We'll take it from there. Visit redrovers.com now for a free month storage. Red Rovers Fetchable Storage saves you time and money.
Welcome back to the Visit Tampa Bay halftime show. Visit Tampa Bay, where treasure awaits. So far, the Rowdies' play has been a treasure. Great to have you with us, everybody. Drew Felios alongside the former United States women's national teamer, Casey White. All right, Rowdies leading by a count of 2-0, but the consensus feeling is it could be a lot more decisive than this. How do you feel right now if you're the Rowdies?
They've done so well in possession, creating opportunities, really being clinical in front of goal, which has been great. You kind of feel like they could be up a little bit more, but goals are hard to come by. So be up 2-0, still very, very good at this point in the game.
First half highlights, Rowdies got right to it.
It was such a quick start. Kyle Gregg going in here and just getting that first opportunity, and LaCava just right place, right time. That's not an easy finish, but he put so much power on it for the first goal.
Jake LaCava, that was goal number 8 on the season. Rowdies would come right back. Leo Fernandez, you just cannot give him this much space right here.
You really can't. He rotates into that outside space, and then no one comes across to deny him penetration into the penalty area. He's too good with his feet, finds LaCava in the back post area, and then able to get enough power on that one to double the lead and get it past Muse.
So Jake LaCava already with the brace, 20 minutes in. Muse cannot believe it. He's had such a great season for Memphis. This is not the way they wanted to start, and the Rowdies would have even more chances than that.
Lewis Hilton here getting a little bit of a touch on that. The penalty kick called for the handball on Logue, and just another opportunity to get another goal in this first half for the Rowdies.
What happens here, Casey?
Fernandez steps up with all the confidence in the world on that left foot, sends Muse the wrong way, and he hits it so well, but hits the post and goes out of play.
Then a little bit later, Leo trying to make up for it. In-swinger on the corner. Oh, it's mishandled there, and the Rowdies nearly get the header in by Ekra.
And Smith able to go in behind Muse, just a miscommunication there, not able to handle the ball, but Smith doing his job covering for his goalkeeper when the mistake happens.
So Rowdies have to settle for a 2-0 lead. Jake LaCava off a little gingerly after the end of one half of play. Looks like he is going to be okay. First half numbers brought to you by Visit Tampa Bay. Casey, what numbers stand out?
Well, when you're up 2-0, you think it's been all attack for the Rowdies, but really their defense has done well, only giving Memphis 1 shot, and none of those on target to test CJ Cochran. Well, on the other side, they have 6 shots, and 3 of those have been on frame, 2 of them resulting in goals, and that's what we talked about earlier, being clinical in that final third, and they've been able to do this. The possession tilting a little bit more towards Memphis, especially as the half went on with that 55% to 44%, but pretty even in a lot of regards except for those shots.
So Rowdies able to have their way thus far against Memphis. Take a look at the upcoming games for Tampa Bay. 2 straight on the road, as next week heading up north to Hartford and then at Loudoun United as well. Week after that, they come back home here, Atlanta United 2, another 7:30 p.m. contest. And then at Indy 11, that's a team the Rowdies took care of also earlier this year. And then Detroit City awaits. That's going to be interesting as they come to Al Lang Stadium for the first time. That game on August the 6th. So Memphis and Tampa Bay set to take the field here for half number 2. Drew Felios with Casey White. Casey, always thrilled to have you aboard here with our crew. Played your collegiate soccer. North Carolina also played for the United States women's national team. Just take us down memory lane here really quick before the second half begins. What has this game provided you that has made you fall in love with it so much?
Well, I'm still here being able to watch a game like this, and that says a lot, being able to not only have had the playing career that I was able to have, I'm just so humbled by that, but also being able to come and be a part of your broadcast team here, work with you and the Tampa Bay Rowdies organization. It's just given me so much to stay involved with the game.
Also done a little bit of coaching as well, and you
Yes.
definitely see the game much differently coaching than when you do as a player, don't you?
Yes, I think almost every player that has coached has said, man, I wish I just knew then what I know now and how I view the game. But yes, being able to coach at the youth and collegiate level has been wonderful and has kept me in the game as well.
It's also made you a little bit older too, right?
I didn't want to mention that part, but since you brought it up, yeah, maybe a year or two. Maybe a year or two older.
Tries your patience just a little bit, trying to...
A little more gray hair,
Yeah,
you know.
but this game is certainly in great hands, isn't it? The young players of tomorrow and where it's going in the future, absolutely blowing up all over the world. Second half underway, Tampa Bay and Memphis. Rowdies with a 2-0 lead. Upcoming World Cup later on this year, and then eventually coming here to the United States and North America. That is going to be huge.
Oh yeah, it's just such a fun time when the World Cup comes around, whether on the men's or the women's side, and it's just an exciting time to be a part of the game.
Aaron Guillen to throw it in here. Guillen trying to go somewhere with the ball. He's got to let it go at some point. No real options there. And not the prettiest way to begin the second half. If there is a key to Memphis here in this second session, where does it start for the visitors?
They have to get the ball into their midfield more. They really have lost that battle in the first half with the 3v2 that the Rowdies has with them, so getting Malloy on the ball important for them.
Good shape here. And Memphis will get it inside the 18. That ball is taken and just a little bit wide. Cochran out of position and nearly the first Memphis goal.
And Buckmaster getting up so high on that one as the outside back, but a lot of those passes coming through Paul and Malloy in that center midfield spot. And when they have that possession, it really tests the Rowdies a lot more, especially when they're back a little bit more defensively.
Lots of time and space here. That's Lucas Turchi. He has been a threat as he shoots it just to the right. Rowdies defense has to be on guard. So good start here to the second half for Memphis. I think if you are Memphis, you get one goal, you automatically cut that Rowdies lead in half. Turchi again goes with the long ball. They get feet on it right there at the doorstep, and Cochran not happy.
And it's going to be interesting because a lot of the success from the Rowdies early in the game came from pressing higher up the field. They were really on the front foot, started quickly, and the tendency, because they have the 2-goal lead, is to sit back a little bit more. But Memphis will enjoy more possession if that's the case. So it's that balance of not having to push forward for a goal, but also not just sitting back and hoping that Memphis doesn't score. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage that balance.
Antley comes up with it briefly for Tampa Bay. Memphis once again. Top of the box, they send it right. This ball sent it on the cross. Chaos right in front of the goal for Cochran. Wyke now trying to fend off Turchi, who's been very active here in the opening minutes.
Yeah, he's gotten more on the ball, and he's someone that Neil Collins was very aware of and said he wanted his players to be aware of his movements on the field. The first half, not really getting on it too much in the wing space, but now more lively here to start.
Anchor goes down, whistle blown, and now Lewis Hilton starts things for Tampa Bay. Talked about Jordan Scarlett, that Jamaican national team call-up. Did not see a lot of minutes on the field, but that really was not the point. Just putting on the uniform, the adrenaline rush, that has got to give a young player really something to behold. LaCava now sets it for Leo. Fernandez on the ground, and there's Muse. Still a good, I'll tell you what, you watch Fernandez and LaCava play, Casey, it's like they've played together their entire lives. The chemistry, incredible.
And sometimes that just happens where you just understand the movement some players, and it can take time to develop, but some definitely develop more quickly than others.
Scarlett again. Comes up with the tackle. He is not afraid to get physical, in case you know what it's like to wear the colors of your country.
Yes, and you talk a little bit about putting on that jersey for the first time. It's just such a humbling experience to be able to put the jersey on, to hear your national anthem, and to be able to represent for sure. So a special time for him. It makes me think back to the first time I was able to do that, and it's an emotional time for players as well.
If you've just joined us, Jake LaCava with 2 goals for the Rowdies. Second one set up by Leo Fernandez. Rowdies also had chances to add to that. A couple chances got away from them in the first half, but still battling here. Memphis, they've come out much more aggressive here in the second half than they were in the first. And this is Ekra, who's going to get whistled for the foul.
You can definitely tell tactically they're pushing numbers a little bit more forward. The aggressiveness you mentioned. Muse has to have a little bit of a higher line just to defend against a potential counterattack. But right now, Memphis knows they've got to push at least to create more opportunities, only having 1 shot in that first half.
Segrist. That was Goodrum there. Goodrum trying to get more involved. He was dead silent in the first 45 minutes. Switch the point of attack now. And Memphis will have to chase it down to throw it in on the far side. Thought in the pregame that we were going to see some showers here tonight, but the weather has really held up well. 82 degrees, clear as can be. Don't want to jinx it.
Please don't. Please don't. It's so beautiful right now.
Cannot wait for the fireworks in the postgame. So many great memories, Casey, of going to the old Tampa Stadium and watching the great Rowdies names of the past. And watching the fireworks postgame whenever I was a kid.
Oh, that is so cool. Just so much history behind the club, and just something that's really, really unique with clubs here in the USL with the Rowdies.
Jake LaCava has it taken away just as he got into the final third. And now the Rowdies with Wyke. Wyke will get whistled for the foul here.
I'll be honest, he's unhappy with that, but I would be too if I was playing. Lawrence Wyke stepped into that space really well, but just the reaction after gets him the yellow card.
Yeah, he comes in like an absolute freight train, and that is where I think he gets whistled. Yeah, some of those names of the past, the Rodney Marshes, the Mike Connells, the Roy Wegerleys, Winston Dubose, who I've had a chance to work with in the booth a few times. And those old school uniforms, got to have a throwback night at some point.
Definitely. Look at you just bringing out ideas. I love it.
Like the old polo shirts, you know, back in the late 70s.
Oh, yeah.
With the green and gold stripe, really sharp. Over the top. Memphis with the flag staying down. Chase it down here. And Segrist now to throw it in. It's also something that local sports fans sometimes forget. Casey, the Rowdies, the first Tampa Bay pro sports franchise, even before the Buccaneers. Born in 1975. This is Kelly, met by Wyke. Memphis with pretty good pace here. Give it up this time. Guillen will watch it sail out of bounds, and the Rowdies will throw it in.
And Memphis has experienced a little bit more possession in this first 10 minutes or so, with Kelly pushing inside to help in possession. It just kind of offsets the Rowdies' back line and understanding of where to step. So it has rewarded Memphis with a little bit more of the possession. But higher up the field, Lawrence Wyke has stepped really well in there to stifle the play.
Wyke will send it down the field. Well, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights, 7 Eastern Time. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Memphis moving it now into the final third. Take the shot from distance. It caroms out. And that was a great save by Cochran. C.J. Cochran coming up big again, and Lawrence Wyke 110 miles an hour the other way. Wyke attacking, slowing down just a bit. Feeds Fernandez. Leo whips it around, and Muse able to deny.
And it was really good on the opposite end with the stage from C.J. Cochran, but perhaps even better was the organization to get that clearance out that started the counterattack.
Connor Antley is down for the Rowdies, so another scary moment here.
This is the last opportunity. Wyke does well to find the feet of Fernandez, and getting that shot off was great. Muse hasn't been able to handle that initial ball very often in this game, so I think the more the Rowdies can continue to test them, there may be a third goal for a tap in there with that little bit of extra time for a rebound.
Guillen getting A little bit of a talking to by Kevin Broadley, our lead official. Connor Antley is still on the ground, and he's one of those guys that is so important because of what he does defensively, especially on this year's version of Tampa Bay.
And the partnership of center back so important as well. Just the further you go into games, it's not really something you like to shift around very often as a manager. Not only is he partnered well with Scarlett and they complement each other, but he's so comfortable on the ball, and it really helps in distribution for the Rowdies.
So Antley will take a moment to get hydrated. Well, it's so nice to see Connor Antley develop into this Rowdy system. He came in last year. Casey was a little bit rough around the edges to start his Rowdies career. Watched him play for Tormenta FC in South Georgia, and the opportunities I had with them years ago, but to watch him and to watch how he's just gotten better and better, and now counted on big time in the Rowdies system. Certainly a player they cannot afford to lose. Neil Collins comes over and gives him a pat on the head.
And sometimes that's just the trajectory of someone and how they get comfortable within a team. And Neil Collins talked about it when we said this week, he wants to help every player get better, just continue to grow, continue to get to that next level. And Antley had a lot of appearances last year, but even more so this year in that center back position.
Ralph's mom making their presence felt. Skyway Casuals as well, having a great time on this 4th of July weekend. Casey, is there a moment in your career where you just felt like everything just seemed to take off, where you felt like, man, I could be one of the best players in the country and maybe even the world?
Honestly, it was when I went to UNC, because I was put in a position that I was consistently tested, and it was hard every day. And when you create an environment like that as a coach, everyone gets better, everyone improves. And those were the moments I felt I could go further with my career.
Jan Ekra. Kelly comes out of there from Memphis, and now on the attack. They've got some numbers. Turchi, and this is their high-scoring forward, Goodrum. One touch away there. There's Turchi again, knocking on the door of the Rowdies. Guillen scrambling back. So corner kick coming up from Aaron Malloy. Here's one more look.
And trying to take it in stride was Turchi. Perhaps would have been better served taking off the right foot, but Guillen just very smart getting that one out, not making any silly mistakes in the back.
Ball played short. Malloy did not have a chance to strike it, and the Rowdies simply clear it. You had a chance to see Memphis, though, and call one of their games earlier this year. Has it surprised you how fast and how good this team has gotten here in 2022 so quickly?
Well, at that game, they actually, I guess what you'd call upset Colorado Switchbacks at the time, who was undefeated when they met up with Memphis 901 FC, and they showed a lot of promise, a lot of resilience going forward. So I saw a lot of what they've shown over these last 2 months in that first game.
'60th minute. Memphis sensing a goal coming. LaCava doing a good job on that far side for the Rowdies. Leston Paul sizing things up. This is Logue. White right there to make things really difficult. Lewis Hilton also goes down. And this is going to be another card. This one dealt to Turchi, and that is a red card. So Memphis going to be a man down here the rest of the way. Spikes came in late, and I'll have to see that one more time because it was Hilton going down that time, enough to convince our head referee that enough was enough.
Yeah, just two challenges in that area. And when you're on a yellow card like Turchi was and you're searching for a goal, this really is just a huge setback for them as we take a look at it. First, the initial foul there, and then coming in there at the end as well. But that initial foul on Hilton just coming from behind.
Coach Perman cannot believe it. Second yellow dealt to Lucas Turchi. So his night is done. And now Memphis shorthanded. You hear Coach Ben saying, call it both ways, call it both ways. So if you are Memphis now, Casey, things obviously not looking good. You're down 2 goals, and now you're down a man the rest of the way.
It's a huge uphill battle, that's for sure. They're going to have to figure out when are the moments to press. They can't press all the time. They can't do that against a team that possesses as well as the Rowdies, and it's tough even with even numbers, let alone being down a man. But I've seen stranger things happen where when they have 10, they're going to have to search for set pieces, things like that. So the Rowdies will have to be cognizant of it. And if you are the Rowdies, do you just continue to attack here, knowing that the other side is shorthanded? I think moving the ball and the speed of play, just making them chase is your best friend at this point. Not necessarily having to go create opportunities to go forward, but just keep the ball as much as possible and wear them down.
Jeremy Kelly, Lawrence Wyke. Those two have tangled up often here tonight. Malloy from distance, that was a missile. Cochran watches it sail over the crossbar. That ball was absolutely screaming.
Well, and the further back that the Rowdies go when they've lost possession, they give up that space in front. So Malloy taking that shot, he may not have scored, but it will make the Rowdies have to step out and create space other places.
Luis Fernando comes on now. This is the former Tampa Bay Rowdy, spent all last season with the club. Did not see much playing time for the Rowdies. Here he is. He goes off to Memphis, gets an opportunity, and now a chance to sting his former team. It's not going to be easy playing 10 versus 11, though, the rest of the way. There's one motivator, though, in any sport, Casey. It's getting the chance to face your old club.
It is definitely a motivating thing for athletes, just that competitive nature coming out, being able to play against your former club. You can definitely see players have top performances when they're in that moment.
Tampa Bay has Florida's most ways to play. Claim your next adventure at visitTampaBay.com. That's visitTampaBay.com. Lawrence Wyke attacks for the Rowdies. Tampa Bay nearly had another chance there as Greg got a foot on it. You watch Greg, he's a little bit silent, but also a key role, number 22 for the Rowdies.
Yeah, he does well in that 9 position. He plays a big role defensively, but also just linking play important. He set up that first goal just by that driving run into the penalty area. So he definitely has influenced this game, but just not getting on the ball as much in possession so far in this half.
Jeremy Kelly now spreads it wide. Memphis trying to get on the board here. Buckmaster. This is Malloy. Patient. Rowdies able to get in place defensively. 1-2 set up from the end line. Danger! And Cochran rises above to pull it down and end the threat. Put it in the neighborhood, though, of Goodrum, and if he could have gotten his head on it, Casey, it would have been trouble.
It was a good challenge there, and this is the run by Buckmaster, the outside back, getting forward, just putting it into a dangerous area, but strong by Cochran, and Scarlett there just enough to make sure Goodrum doesn't get a direct run at the ball.
The referee will reach to his pocket once more, and another yellow dealt out. This to Leston Paul. So Aaron Guillen goes down hard. Coach Perman will plead his case. It's tough to be on the road. There's going to be those nights where you're just not fully getting the calls that you feel you should be getting. It just feels like that's the type of night it is for Memphis 901.
And it's hard because as the game goes on, already being down 2 goals, then you're down a player as well. You're searching for just anything you can get. So when these calls happen, whether warranted or not, it feels like everything's against you, right? And the Rowdies put themselves in that position early on in this game by taking the lead.
Aaron Guillen, so active this year. He's got 7 yellows of his own. often when there's that extracurricular activity, he is often that guy right in the middle of it. Got to have that guy on the team who's sort of like the enforcer, and he seems like he's starting to become that guy.
100%. That has to happen. There has to be somebody there that really takes the lead in that area of the game, and someone that it can serve as a motivator as well. When you see someone that puts in those tackles, it really just like influences everyone else around them.
'67th minute. So far, so good for Tampa Bay. Rowdies putting on a show. 2 Jake LaCava goals. And that's the difference in this game. Lawrence White and company want to extend that lead.
And you can see that there's a 2v1 opportunity on that wide space. Just a heavy touch from White, but him and Dahlgaard can really try to create the 2v1, especially being down a player. They're going to be isolated in the back if the Rowdies can get possession higher up the field.
Kien, decision to make, decides to keep it. Good decision, drawing. Several Memphis players are now letting White move forward. Lawrence White with Dahlgaard on his right, dumps it left. Ekra had a chance to strike it. Had that lane for the one-timer, just couldn't get it off. And Memphis clears temporarily. Player goes down. And the Rowdies right now starting to go down. I believe that is Antley again, who is slow getting up. 68th minute. I think it's going to be very soon. The Rowdies going to their bench. Dahlgaard will send it across the field. LaCava will run it down. Antley is still on the ground. And Rowdies will now hold it up. Officials will run over and check on number 2. Connor Antley is such a tough player. So when he is on the ground like that, you know that it is definitely not theater. Chris Allen set to check in for Memphis. 2 players now will come in. Also, David Egbo will follow him. Frustrating night for Leston Paul as he comes off after a 69-minute shift. So here comes Allen. Egbo will follow.
And a really tactical move here. Paul kind of sits in that midfield holding mid role. Now Memphis really has to try to generate something going forward. Everything's stacked against them with being down a man, but putting in some more offensive-minded players to be able to maybe try to shake things up a little bit against the Rowdies.
Antley going to be helped off here. So hopefully Connor Antley is okay moving forward. This is such a physical and at times brutal game. We talk about Memphis and how tonight is a bit of a litmus test. We'll get this, Casey. After this game, next week, they've got Phoenix. And then after that, they've got Louisville City. So
no rest. No rest at all.
This is part of the, I mean, the 3 of the best teams in the league right there. You're going to see really what Memphis is made of. Rowdies fans applauding the efforts of Connor Antley.
Different times of the year you have different tests, like you mentioned, and sometimes it's about just can you have the consistency of play. Now, right now, it's can you play against the best consistently and get results.
Thomas Venke is heel off the bench for the Rowdies. Recently acquired. He'll make his first appearance here. He is a veteran. Did not have a chance to play in that Pittsburgh match. He's had to recover. Was a little bit dinged up, but happy to be back here tonight. So we play on. 71st minute. Rowdies closing in on their 9th victory of the season. Memphis is a man down. Lucas Turchi sent off about 10 minutes ago. And the Rowdies now starting to come up gimpy. It seems like at every pass, Casey, just it's not a good moment. Memphis playing a little extra aggressively as well.
And it doesn't really bode well for Memphis. Every time the play stops, it gives the Rowdies time to reevaluate where they want to be, make different runs, etc. as that offside call happens. But it really isn't a positive thing for Memphis. It just is stopping the play and really just giving the Rowdies an opportunity to go forward.
Now Aaron Malloy. Ball is tapped out of bounds. Mentioned, Casey, the turnaround for Memphis. I think something to do with that has to do with their sporting director, Tim Howard, and the difference that he has made in the organization. One of the all-time great American players.
Just the mentality coming from the top, not only just in how he approaches the game, but also the respect that is garnered by just his career. And these players can see that from the top down, and that definitely goes through the club and permeates everything that a club can do.
This is Logue sending it upfield. Right in the hands of C.J. Cochran. Cochran has been in the right place, right time all night long. Coming back from 2 goals down with only 10 men, Casey, is it possible in this beautiful game?
It's possible, but it's not expected. And especially the Rowdies, where they were starting to get a little bit too deep defensively before that Turchi red card, and Memphis was really playing into the game, so it was a huge turning point. Now the Rowdies are pressing again a little bit higher up the field, and I think they're at their best when they do that, so now it almost feels insurmountable to be able to come back and do that for Memphis.
Memphis doing a good job given the circumstances is Chris Allen. And the visiting side now attacking from the right. Rowdies scrambling back here in the 74th minute, trying to stay as fresh as possible. This ball is shot on the ground. Comes back out, collected by Kelly. Jan Ekra, Kyle Gregg. Luis Fernando. Fresh legs. Fernando knows this Rowdies side very well, playing against them, practicing against them every single day last season. Siegrist with the cross. Cleared by the Rowdies. Trey Muse coming up off his line. This is Logue. Jan Ekra and Tampa Bay get possession back. A couple Rowdies players set to check in as Juan Tejada looks like he is getting ready, and Lucky M. Kosana getting loose as well.
And I'm a little surprised that Memphis hasn't gone into a 3-back system just to try to generate something. And you definitely give up something on the other side, potentially a counterattack goal to go up 3-0. But honestly, what's the difference? They need to try to push to get a goal, and it's not really putting a lot of pressure on the Rowdies at this point.
Ekra going down. And let's see if the Rowdies waving their substitutes here. Jan Ekra will get up a little slowly, as he has been very involved here over the last 10 minutes as well. So we've had Ekra, we've had Antley going down, Jake LaCava at the end of the first half. Minutes starting to wear on the Rowdies just a bit. So here we go. Junior E2 is also up for Tampa Bay, but Juan Tejada set to check in. Jake LaCava comes off after posting the brace. The crowd will give him a big round of applause. Neil Collins always teaching. What a find Jake LaCava has been into this Rowdy system. And the legend, the super sub off the bench, number 77, Lucky Amkosana. His magnificent career continues here for the Rowdies, as Kyle Gregg will come out. Junior E2 comes on as well.
If you're Memphis, it's not something you want to see. Amkosana coming in off the bench. He's so difficult, having to deal with Gregg and LaCava up top for the majority of the game. Now you've got Tejada and Amkosana coming in. Two players that have such energy, to have a huge work rate up top to create chances.
Sebastian Dahlgaard attacking. Dahlgaard takes the shot. Oh, it's off the crossbar. The goal was open. That ball was humming. Did everything but go in.
You can't strike a ball much better than that. I mean, when he gets going towards goal, it's like with a mission. You can tell 1v1, just looking to create an opportunity, and struck so well.
One more look.
Gets it on the right foot and beats Muse. It just hits the post, a crossbar, excuse me, and bounces right out. But what a great opportunity from Dahlgaard.
At Boat, we make the best gear for you to enjoy life on the water, from paddleboards to floating docks, committed to pushing the boundaries of innovation, style, and design to help you stand apart. Stop by our St. Pete store to get the boat experience. Fans getting the full Rowdies experience here tonight. 2-0 Tampa Bay. And I'll tell you what, this is again one of those matches that could easily be 4-0, 5-0 as Dahlgaard goes down after a tackle. And it starts to get a little bit chippy between both of the sides. Dahlgaard just made that spectacular shot, and I think Aaron Malloy wants to let him know, hey, I'm in the neighborhood here. Here's White. Lots of space for Lawrence White. Memphis closes the gap quickly. Over to Tejada. Juan Tejada centers it. Then Kayazia. Safety valve here for the Rowdies. Now it's Dahlgaard with Junior E2. Aaron Guillen and Jordan Scarlett. Lewis Hilton, the engine, in the middle of the park. Tejada with White on his right. Cuts it back. Can he strike it? Yes. Just a little bit right. Juan wanted that goal, and so did Rowdies fans.
That little bit of space that Tejada's able to find is because of that run from White, just going into the outside space. But just those clinical finishing details letting the Rowdies down here, it could be a lot higher of a score.
Devin Boyce now getting loose from Memphis. St. Louis, Missouri product. We're in the 80th minute. Impressive performance tonight by Tampa Bay. Casey, you had a chance to do an NWSL game last night. Tell us about that.
Oh, it was a great game. Angel City versus the Portland Thorns. Portland Thorns currently in second place. It ended in a 1-1 tie, and there was a 96-minute equalizer by the Portland Thorns. A first-minute penalty for Angel City FC and a last-minute equalizer. So there was a lot of drama there, and that kind of tie feels like a win to the Thorns, and probably a bit of a loss to Angel City, but a tie nonetheless.
Zach Carroll in, Grant Smith coming out for Memphis. Angel City with some celebrity ownership, I understand. Natalie Portman, you've got Serena Williams as well, part of the ownership.
Yes, there's 14 former national team players that are part of the ownership group, but Natalie Portman started everything along with 2 other owners. Serena Williams is involved as well. So a lot of resources going towards Angel City, which is great for the women's game.
Gotcha. Another stoppage here with the Natalie Portman reference. Got to ask you, have you had a chance to watch the new Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus?
I haven't.
Oh,
I really should. You're going to call me out on air about that, aren't you? Soon, though. Soon.
Really, really well done. I'll tell you what.
Very nice.
And her role in the Phantom Menace, the early Star Wars Attack of the Clones and whatnot, and now how it flows into this series. Really, really incredible stuff. Lawrence White sends it back. I finished that series in about 2 nights, by the way. It just went so fast I could not wait. Lewis Hilton.
And this is the speed of play and the ball movement that the Rowdies definitely needed to find being up a man, and they've done so well the last few minutes just to move the ball through midfield.
Tejada. Would love to see Tejada get another chance here. Scarlett. Van Kayazeel. Rowdies held off the scoreboard here in the second half. See if they can try and register one late. Memphis playing just 10 men here after the red card to Turchi. Sneak this one through, and Epko Sana was nearly running one-on-one. Talking about your NWSL experience, I had a chance last week to do a La Liga tournament. Young men playing at the ESPN Wide World of Sports, 11 to 13 years old. Just incredible skill from these young men. As Lawrence White takes it up now, sends it to the left side. Dahlgaard dealing for the Rowdies. Sebastian Dahlgaard cutting it back. Shot on and just high.
And since moving over to that left side, Dahlgaard been a lot more involved. Etu just in that space that he was trying to penetrate, but was going right at the players from Memphis 1v1, getting a little further away from goal. I like the patience there, but Etu there on the left foot for the opportunity, not able to force a save from Hughes.
Well, don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home to USL, MLS, La Liga, Bundesliga, and much more. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Memphis still battling. Got to credit this team. They do not give up. They continue to fight until the final whistle. E2 trying to get comfortable with the Rowdies. Lawrence White. White sends it to Leo Fernandez. Fernandez will share it as well. Aaron Guillen. All Rowdies from the start. It's been a vintage Tampa Bay Rowdies performance here on 4th of July weekend. Lawrence White goes down. Send it now to Juan Tejada. Tejada. Full head of steam now for Tampa Bay. Fernandez Just could not control it. Good job by Memphis coming back now with Malloy. Devin Boyce, fresh legs for the visiting side. One-on-one with Scarlett. That's where he wants it. Send it back for the shot. Just can't get through the traffic. Rowdies defense in place.
And all of that comes from that square ball, just allowing that counterattack transition to go against the Rowdies. But well defended in the penalty area, just in those final last-ditch efforts. But Malloy had a bit of a dangerous look there on frame.
Patrick Segrist. This is Chris Allen. 87th minute. Memphis playing keep away. It's been a tough night for the visiting side. Finding a way, though, to stay in this game. Segrist. He'll cross it. Here comes the header. Nope. Rowdy's able to get in the way of that one as well.
I don't think we've seen the best of Memphis, but I think that's because of the Rowdies. When you start as quickly as they did with so much pressure, not only that, but converting the goal, you really earn the right to be able to dictate the game how you want to. And Memphis just really hasn't been able to find a rhythm to create opportunities forward.
This is Logue. Ball sent on the ground, and again, it was E2 there to clear it. Rather, Jordan Scarlett clearing it for the Rowdies. Leo Fernandez can't control. Chris Allen, hand it to Memphis. I'll tell you what, they are keeping possession, continuing to pose a threat here. And a 2-0 lead, if you know anything about this great game. That's the most unsafe lead there is.
There's a huge momentum shift if the team that's losing can get a goal back, for sure. That can be a really dangerous time for the team.
If you're following the Rowdies this year, one of the things that is on your mind is probably, where is Saba's production and is it ever going to come? I think it's a matter of time. Stuck on 59 goals. He is knocking on the door of becoming the Rowdies' all-time leading scorer. And I got to ask you, Casey, how long do you think before he gets involved once again?
Well, it's hard to say, but I think that there's just a professionalism that comes with being in the USL Championship, and he's a proven goal scorer. He has so much production, and some years are like that, and some moments are like that. So he'll have moments to be back on the field and contribute for the Rowdies, and I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Definitely miss El Capitan. And at some point, we want to see him have that moment and celebrate that with him as well. Memphis continuing to move it. Fernando. Guillen staying right with him step for step.
And one of the hardest things to do as a goal scorer is to focus just on goal scoring,
Sure.
especially when there's a record involved. So, you know, a team player like him focusing on how he can make other players better and things that Neil Collins says he does on the daily basis will only help him get more and more opportunities.
Remember, that was the case with Georgi Ristov before he became the Rowdies' all-time leading scorer. I believe that was 2018, where he was right there, and then just seems like he kind of hit a wall as well. You get to that milestone, and those are the toughest goals to be had. Devin Boyce. Lawrence White comes over to get it for Tampa Bay. 90th minute now. And there's a good chance we're going to have significant extra time. We did not get much in the first half, but this is going to be a different story here in half number 2. White goes down. He's taken down from behind.
And at this point, the Rowdies players need to be careful, just not holding onto the ball a little bit too long. 2-0 win, getting towards the end, just not being smart so they don't have those fouls they have to take.
6 minutes extra time, 6 minutes. Stand between the Rowdies and another 3 points here. And fireworks as well. If you are at the park tonight listening to us, be sure and stick around afterwards for a nice fireworks show. Tampa Bay Rowdies putting on a show here Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer and fireworks, just a tremendous combination on 4th of July weekend. What will you be doing on the 4th of July, Casey?
Oh, just going to be hanging out, taking a little rest after doing some games, you know, so it'll be nice. What about you?
Still trying to figure that out.
Too many options, right?
That's right. That's right. I was hoping the Rays would be at home, but they're not. They're on a long road trip, so you have to figure something out. Maybe just watch a bunch of Rowdies games from the past
Marathon.
year. There we go. Sounds like a plan. Malloy sends it in. Memphis still attacking. Memphis trying to get a shot off here, and there's Venke Azil. Oh, he was critical in denying that chance. Malloy. Logue. Segrist. Boyce. There's Wyke again. Wyke just does not stop. He is everywhere. Fernandez. Able to keep it in bounds. Dahlgaard getting in place. Leo to Lucky, trying to get it back. Lucky just could not tip it back to him. Good idea, though. Now it's Egbo. This has not felt like a game where Memphis has had only 10 men. They've played really well a man down over the past 15 minutes.
They have. They've really tried to pick their moments of when to attack forward. And honestly, the back line's done really well. There's been opportunities for the Rowdies, maybe with a different type of finish or shot selection. It could be 3-0, but overall, they've covered well in the back to allow the players up top to press.
If there is some silver lining to take tonight, that's it for the visiting side. One more chance, perhaps, for the Rowdies. Is there another goal to be had here? Tampa Bay will hold things up and just possess here in the 94th minute. Stick around for our post-game show. We'll have highlights, plus look ahead, show you the upcoming schedule. Teams the Rowdies have to deal with here in the month of July. Lawrence White dealing. Juan Tejada. Tejada with the cross. Oh, Lucky was in the neighborhood. Dahlgaard comes up with it, trying to get it back to Lucky. Leo with the bicycle kick. And this one is going to sail high. Crowd loves the effort, though.
Why not? Why not? That's one of those balls that you're just too tempted not to go for the bicycle kick.
Leo having some fun. He is creative. He is talented. He is so good.
And this ball just coming across. Dahlgaard is very patient here. He's gone to his right the last two attacks that he's had the ball, going to his left there, getting it across. Then you can see the attempt from Fernandez.
Nearly another goal for the Rowdies. They really want that third goal. They have played so hard tonight. Tip it back. Egbo now playing on the far side. Memphis playing a man down for most of this second half. They've had to battle uphill. Segrist. Final minutes here from downtown St. Petersburg. Jordan Scarlett sets it up for the Rowdies, and now this will be played by Logue. Segrist marked by Tejada. Tejada does a good job. 2 straight wins for Memphis. That streak's going to end here tonight on this pitch. Memphis came in here regarded as the top team in the East. The Rowdies sending a message, and now evening this series on the year 1-1.
And just closing that gap, really important, just for the mentality of the players as well, just climbing closer and closer to that first place position. Just a big potential win here if they can close this one out.
Tampa Bay putting the finishing touches on this one. Hilton and Scarlett. Fernandez will move it forward. Tejada would love another chance. Little flick by Leo. Lucky trying to stay onside. Flag does go up. Anytime he shakes free the crowd, just they really know it's coming. Full-time whistle. Tampa Bay a 2-0 victory over Memphis. Not the prettiest game for the Rowdies, but it will do. 2 big games, 2 big goals by Jake LaCava. Right there. The loanee from New York Red Bulls. And the Rowdies get the 3 points here at home. We'll wrap things up and look ahead when we come back here to Al Link Stadium.
We help our patients live life without pain.
I help patients get back on their feet.
Getting my patients moving moves me.
I help patients go through orthopedic surgery smoothly.
I help patients take their first steps after hip replacement.
It's not just an ID badge, it's a badge of honor. Learn why 98% of our patients are walking within 24 hours of surgery at BayCareTotalJoint.org.
Every day, I help patients live happier lives.
BayCare, humanity at work.
50 years of automotive excellence doesn't just happen. It's built on a commitment to that excellence, and we wouldn't change a thing. I'm excited to announce Reeves Import Motorcars is now part of the Morgan Auto Group family, giving you an unparalleled buying and service experience that's uniquely Morgan, like the Experience More guarantee at no additional cost. But it's more than selling you a vehicle. It's the experience, the lifestyle. Introducing the all-new Morgan Import Motorcars. Experience the lifestyle today. When you make it Morgan, we make it happen.
There's your final 2-0. The Rowdies over Memphis 901 FC. Tampa Bay gets another 3 points. It's now 8 games unbeaten for the Rowdies. They got right to work from the start. Jake LaCava came to the park on this 4th of July weekend looking to get back his scoring streak, and he showed the explosiveness tonight.
He was so good in the goal, and this is the second one where Fernandez made a great run down the inline, just getting past the pressure of Malloy, getting it across. A little bit of a missed first touch, but just enough power on this ball that nobody could keep it out for Memphis, making it 2-0. Then a penalty kick coming later in the game. This one here, just a lot of pressure, bouncing the ball around. Lewis Hilton getting this final touch to draw the penalty kick on the handball from Logue. So a really good opportunity for the Rowdies to add another goal to the repertoire. Fernandez stepping up, lots of confidence, opening up his hips, just banging off that post and out of bounds.
Rowdies continue to knock on the door. This header by Ekren nearly found the back of the net, but sent out at the very last moment. And it would be a lot of frustrating chances after that. A player goes off for Memphis, red-carded. Rowdies couldn't really capitalize on it, and they sit on the 2-0 lead the rest of the way. Final numbers, what stood out, Casey?
And the Rowdies didn't really have to push forward a lot more, like you said, only adding 5 more shots for a total of 11. But Memphis adding 7 shots in the second half really just told the story of the game. They needed to work their way back in it, but not able to get shots on target. Just 1 out of 8, as 4 out of 11 for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
So the Rowdies now look ahead. The upcoming schedule for the month of July. 2 straight road games at Hartford and Loudoun, so they'll head north. Atlanta United comes to Al Link Stadium on the 23rd, and then at Indy 11 on the 30th. Detroit City, can't wait to see them come to downtown St. Pete on August 6th. So we hope you enjoyed it. And fans now will settle in and enjoy the fireworks that are yet to come here at the stadium. Neil Collins and company. Another victory, another 3 points, another awesome night of soccer here for Tampa Bay. For Casey White and our entire crew, I'm Drew Fellio saying so long and happy 4th of July. We will see you for our home broadcast on the 23rd. Take care.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.